Hi, this is Debbie from the Normal Paranormal Group with One Story at a Time. And I'm going to title this The Haunted Castle in Illinois. Yes, Illinois has a haunted castle. And I was there as a very young teenager. And it's 5 miles located southwest of Beaumont, Illinois. And it was built in 1902, as I said, by Neil Larson, a Swedish immigrant. He lived in the house with his wife, and she died in 1976, and he moved out, and he moved in with his grown children until he died. He bequeathed the house to his grown children, who then, in 1967, deeded the house to the Heritage Pioneer Historical Association, and they've sold it to private owners over the years.
Foreclosed.
Well, it was foreclosed on, but anyway, someone bought it, and
During a private auction.
during a private auction. I didn't really need to say that, but anyways, they restored the house, and when I was a young girl, I was there. It was a long butt ride, I know that much. And
About 2.5 hour ride.
well, I didn't know that at the
Yeah,
time.
but now, so they should know it's like a 2.5 hour ride.
Well, that depends where you live. So anyways, we went to the Vougers Castle, and it was all by itself in this huge prairie grass. And we walked out the car and went up into the house, and everything was like frozen in time. The kitchen had a potbelly metal stove that they cooked on with steel cast iron pots, and the food was still in the pots on the stove, dishes on the table with food left on the dishes, and they were petrified. That's how old this stuff sat, and nobody touched it. And so we walked around through the house, and we went up to the daughter's room. And I was with my cousins who had their cousins on their father's side with us. And we walked through the room, and there was this beautiful room for this young lady, and she had beautiful clothes hanging on the wall, this gorgeous dress. And as I was walking by it, my cousin's cousin made a sharp turn into the dress, into the wall. And I looked at him, I said, "Why did you do that?" And he said, "I didn't. Someone pushed me into the wall." And we all ran out of that bedroom real quick. And during the time we had to leave, because away from the house they had a big hole in the ground for the garbage. It was all full of metal cans, and there, allegedly someone said there was a body found beneath all those old cans. And I don't know what became of that, but we left. But the adventure was great, and to see the face of my cousin's cousin as he was pushed, and I seen it. I said, "What the heck?" He's walking right behind me, and also like someone turns him sideways and pushes him. I said, "Oh my goodness!" So
Tell them about the tower clock. You did see the tower clock.
Yes. They did have the big tower clock up there when I was a kid, and everything was so old back then. And I guess a big windstorm came and towered it down to the ground, and that was that. I don't know, did they restore that clock?
No.
No? Okay. Well, until the next time, and this is on my very first ghost tour when I was a young teenager. I forgot all about that, but I just remembered, so I thought I'd share. So if you know any haunted places or haunted castles in your area, let us know. Until then, this is Debbie from the Normal Paranormal Group, one story at a time.